Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome your faces to a video that is not very on topic for the channel, but I thought it would be a little fun way to do some more Little Nightmares content. And today, obviously if you can tell by the title, we are ranking the monsters in the Little Nightmares universe. I've made a tier list, I think what the youth is calling it today. So we're making a tier list, and the tier list has obviously everyone that I think is worth noting down on it. You might accidentally see a duplication of the lady. That is my bad. I apologise. But we've got S rank, A rank, B rank, C rank, and D rank. So D is pretty much they pretty nice. They're nothing to worry about. You can do it quite easily. C is for calm yourself. They can be a bit naughty. B is for bother. So oh bother, we probably have to run. And A is for and S is for it's too late. So there are the ranks. I'm going to upload this tier list, and you can make your own list at it on Twitter or whatever. I'd like to see them, just to see what everyone puts. Because I think it'll be quite interesting to see. But with that being said, let's get right into it. So these are obviously going to be personal opinions on practically everything, and it's going to be how I've played against them, how I feel about the characters, and blah blah blah. So first up, I think this is one of the guest characters. So for a guest, I think they can be a little bit annoying. So cautious, you need to be quite cautious, but they're definitely not in bother stay. I'm not going to go for bother. So a C for the guest. The guest is a very big C for me. Where's C about the C? See? Anyway, so next one is the barber. We all know the barber. Well, we don't know the barber, but we all know the barber. Are you confused yet? Because I am. So, we don't know how to play against him. He has got some long scissors, though. Choppy, son boy. So I'm going to say a Chip Chop. I would really not like to be caught by him. I'm going to say especially when he catches you with the ear. And the lunch lady, we can safely assume a D, because she's dead lunch lady. And for our next character is obviously the doctor, the good old doctor. Now, the doctor is definitely a bother. I wouldn't go any lower than a B. I would say he's quite an R as well, but just for his experiments in the hospital and, all his jazz he's into, I want to put him in but I'm still quite... I'm going to think about it throughout the video, but I'm going to put him in R for now, because I think he's quite easy to play against once you know how to. So, Very Little Nightmares, we've got the... And I think it's probably hard to see. Not a lot of people obviously know about Very Little Nightmares, but we are including some of those characters. Is the garbage monster. Now, this one is just be cautious around, because it's, as long as you know what to do. The ferryman. What can we say about the ferryman? We've never had to go against him, but he is a bit of a big boy, and I think if you get on his bad side, as we've seen in the comics, he can deal with you, and he can pretty much protect himself. So I'm going to say he's a definite bother. That's for sure. Then we've got the eyes and the void. It's hard to see in the photo, but... So, I think the eyes and the void... theory coming up on them, by the way. Very interestingly, I'm going to put them in it, because it's too late for you there, sir. It's too late for you. Anyway, so we've got now the granny with a half-cut photo. But if you could tell, it is the granny. Just not her head and feet. Don't know why it cropped it like that, but it did, alright. So I'm going to put the granny in, I want to say S tier, just because she was fun as how to play against, obviously, in the DLC. Because she was like the new monster, and she was really good. But I think after a few goes with her, you can figure out her patterns and how she goes. So I think this granny is a And then we've got the rest of the guests, so I will put them in. I'm going to put him in D, because as long as he's just eating his dinner, he thinks it's delicious. Don't disturb him. And the same goes for the lady eating the sausage, the guest lady eating the sausage. I don't want to have to keep looking at that one, I must admit. It does give me nightmares in itself. So we've got the hands, the living hands next. I'm going to say they're a bit of a bother. rather than an situation, because again, once you know the patterns, they're pretty easy to deal with. Sorry. And then we got the Hangman, not really a monster, but included in the list because I feel like he is going to have some sort of form to do in the Moor and etc. etc. So I think because we don't know much about him, we've not gone against him, a definite D for us, ladies and gentlemen. The Hunter, oh, the good old Hunter boy. He's a shooty booty. So I'm going to put him SH. This boy, I could argue all day, he is a dangerous boy. Or that's if he's a boy. A leech is quite a bother, definitely a bother. I won't say just a bit cautious because they can get you. Enough of them, they've got you, you know? Like, look at how the base game was. A few of them in the room, when you're covered in them, oh. So they're definitely going to go in a bother for me. Anyway, the bullies. Now, I've only got one photo of the bullies, but, you know, it's the bullies are the bullies. Now, the bullies are a definite bother, but I'm a bit, do I put them in R or not? Because they entertain me more than scare me, you know? So I think I'm going to commit to the... It's a hard one. It is a hard one because I'm gonna, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put them in R because you know what? When there's too many and you haven't got the right swing on that ladle, it's a nightmare, and a big nightmare to be sure. The Mirror Man next, and this is a player. Now, if you haven't read the comics, go do so because, and you can find the comics like the older ones. But this boy, let me tell you, this boy don't mess about. This boy comes through mirrors, and he will, pardon my French, but you up. So he is level for me. And then we get on to the patients, and the patients I think are sort of, I want to say they're on the same level as the Doctor, but they're not because you know they're quite easy to counter, and you know once you know the patterns, it's easy. So I reckon I'm going to put them just below the Doctor and put them as a bother. But let me know what you think, because I'm a bit... And then we've got a terrible photo, but we've got the Shadow Kids, and I think the Shadow Kids are definitely on the same turf as the Bullies, because too many Shadow Kids, you're in trouble. Look at the DLC where you had to open the painting as the door. Once it was too many, it was hard to deal with, so I'm going to keep them. Shoe Monster, I think you can live alongside the cautious... Garbage Monster from Very Little Nightmares. Maybe there's a correlation between the two. I have to watch out. Anyway, next one on the list is the good old 6. And for some reason, her head has been cut in half too. Little Nightmares free spoiler. Maybe. But 6 for me is S tier because obviously 6. I think 6 belongs comfortably in category. And then we've got our beloved, I must say, the Charmer, the Snake Charmer. I don't know how to compliment her, but I don't want to at the same time. But she gets she is, and this is why, because her neck is petrifying, and when you're running through those school classes, she's about, you know, she's caught you. You can hear it. You poo in your pants. There's no double question. I hope you bought a new set of pants because you're going to have to replace them. And on the next one we have the lady, but because it's a bit of a cut off, I'm going to ignore that one, and we're going to use this portrait of the lady. So again, for the lady, for me, absolutely here. Do not want to get into any beef with her. I'll let 6 and the lady fight each other. That's cool. I'll go in the vent with the gnomes, you know. Just stay out of that shit. That is not my beef. I am staying well away. And then next we have the butler. I'm going to put the butler as what I originally wanted to put him. I originally wanted to put him S tier, but you know what? The more I think about it, he was a little bit more extra tier. Because he is dangerous, my dude. If it weren't for the fact that he has like a limitation on how far he can do his telekinesis, he would be in the S rank. But he's definitely at moment. Craftsman, crafty boy. I would say he's a bother, not an R though, just because you can predict his movements. He's quite easy to get away with. But his design is scary in itself, so I will put him in the bother section. Jan, definite an R. He's a lovely boy, but we all know him too well at this point, so we can pretty much predict everything he's gonna do, even with Mr. Tickle Arms, believe me. So, he's not necessarily a moment, it's more of a, he's back again. Oh my god, he's back again. What song is that? I can't remember, never mind. And then we got the not the Fin Man. I have just realised something. There is no Fin Man on here. There is no Fin Man. Okay, so I apologise greatly, but I have just added the Fin Man in. But we did actually have no Fin Man for a good while. I thought I was missing one. I knew it. I knew I was missing one. And I know why I didn't put it in, because I haven't put Mono in. But Mono is a gem, and Mono does not belong on this list. But the Fin Man, he definitely A tier. He is. Wow, no, actually, he is oh shit. So, for some reason we got the Wax Bowman in. I'm going to ignore that and just put the Wax Bowman in D, because one, we haven't messed with him. Two, we don't know where he is, apart from, and we don't know if he's dead. So, next one on the list, the North Wind. Now, the North Wind gets me giddy all the time. So, I am definitely going to say that North Wind is in a situation, because no one knows enough about him. He is practically, he is like stupidly dangerous, especially if you read the comics. Like, Jesus Christ, I don't know how people get away from him. But, with that being said, I'm going to pop this one here as well, just because the ladies, just because it's in the way. Next one on the list is the Pretender. Now, the Pretender is a dangerous little bugger, but I definitely don't think she's oh shit moment. I think, if anything, she's very ladies and gentlemen. And then that leaves us with the gentleman on TV, well, in the comics. I think he is going to be a bit of a bother. I don't think he's going to be anything further because we don't know nothing about him, but he's definitely a menace to be. Definitely a menace. Anyway, Twin Chefs. Twin Chefs are a bother. That's a guaranteed bother. But do I find, you know what? Yeah, I find them an moment. They're always, whenever they chase me, it's always an moment. And that goes hand in hand with our little viewers here, because I reckon the viewers also are quite an moment because, again, they're dangerous. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I think, and that is my personal list of ranking all the monsters in Little Nightmares. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and remember, if you're loving and like Little Nightmares content, make sure to hit subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. If you want to do this, I'll put a link in below where you can find this exact tier list. But with that being said, I hope you have a lovely morning, day, or night wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next theory video.